Well, good evening. This is Dee. I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks, so I said I better jump in here and see what's going on. I wanted to know, are you still bored? Are you still bored? Because a couple of weeks ago I was bored, and I wanted to address that because I think that a lot of us have let the world get the best of us, and we get bogged down with things, and next thing you know, our minds are all confused, and we're not doing what we really want to do. In this video, I would like to just share some of the things that I've done when I'm bored, and hopefully it will help you. You can try a couple of the things that we'll see what happens. But in any event, usually when I get bored, there's just nothing for me to do. I feel like there's nothing to do. But I found that I changed my mind. I decided there's lots of things to do. My grandmother used to say, get busy. What you bored? How you going to be bored and so much to be done? She would tell me that. And she was in her 70s, I mean, I was in my 20s at the time. But, and so literally, I started taking on things to do. And for one thing, I went back to school. You can go back to school. If your finances allow it to do, or even if it doesn't, they have Pell Grants. They have various grants out there that you can, apply for. And that can take up a lot of your time going to school, and learning something that you've always wanted to learn. Now, for the younger people, well, this is things that they need to learn. But for older people, well, we can learn things that we always wanted to learn, But then if you don't want to take up all your time in school, just pick up a book. Pick up a book, and a type of book that you've always wanted to read, of course. Some people like drama, suspense. I myself, I like comedy, but because I love to laugh, if you couldn't tell. Yeah, I love to laugh. But, and also I like memoirs because I'm in the middle of writing my memoir. So maybe one of these days we'll talk about that. But that's a long process, by the way. Writing your own memoir is very long. But I mean, it's fun. I enjoy it. I love writing. But then there is the traveling. Now, I didn't take up my time with traveling until many years. I was 62 when I started traveling. But I've traveled the world, and if you can get an opportunity to travel, that is one of the best ways you can get knowledge through traveling. That's one of the best ways. If I had an opportunity when I was younger to travel with my children, I think I would have taken them around the world and allowed them to learn while they're in other countries. It's nothing like it. That's the best knowledge you can get, as far as I'm concerned. Then you can always pick up some other little hobbies, like crocheting. Now, for those homemakers, I mean, I used to crochet. I used to knit. I guess you'd say, well, what is she talking about now? It's like, if you're one of those type of individuals that like to do that type of art, I did that. I did it in my 20s. I used to love crocheting and knitting. I used to make scarves, hats. That's when I used to have hair. I cut all my hair off. We'll talk about that another day. But yeah, crocheting, yeah, and knitting. Oh, I used to love that. Oh my God. Then there was the other thing of I got real organized. Now, I was in my 20s and 30s and 40s with this, truly organized, and I started really diving into organizing my home. Now, I had one of the cleanest homes in quite, well, during my younger years, I rented from the housing authority. It's low-cost housing. And maybe we could talk about that one day, living in low-cost housing, how that is. But I had the cleanest house in their organization. I got awards for having the cleanest house that my manager had ever seen, which is interesting, you know. I was young, but what the heck. But that, you know, that's just a few things that I would, you know, recommend to people to, you know, that are bored, you know. And if you're, you know, I'll tell you something else. If you like being physical, oh, physical fitness is amazing. If you can take up exercising, oh my God, you know, just like I told you, I had just come from the gym. And hey, if you can start working out, it's one of the best things for depression, anxieties, as far as I know of personally. That was one of the things that I used just recently with the loss of my very dear old friend. A girlfriend of mine just passed, but it works up. It really makes me feel better. My endorphins, you know, get higher, and I do feel much better. But in any event, that's just a little short video on how I'm keeping myself from not being bored, and how I kept myself from not being bored when I was younger. And I hope it helps you. Again, you know, if you have problems with being bored and just having too much time on your hands, hey, okay, do something. Get up and do something. Do some volunteer work. You know, there's always a hospital around or a clinic around that needs some help. If you have a library, hey, do some volunteer work for the library. You know, you don't have to just sit around. You know, you really shouldn't. Sitting around is not a good thing anyway. It's bad for your hips. In any event, this is Dee, and you've reached how to live your best life in your 70s and beyond. And it's great seeing you again. I hope you enjoy this. Bye.